Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today, and today we are going over my Mantra Amon build. So we're gonna start off with the mantras. So if you guys watched my melee Harlow build, these are the same mantras that I used in this build. That build, I just forgot to show them. Jacob's Ripper, 9,104, 225,000 DPS. We have a large. We're using the same rep kit also, which has hard hitter and enrage, which is really good for this build because we're melee, and then we're using the atomic slippy for extra melee damage stored, which is really nice. This shows skillcraft, but it's not skillcraft. So, and then we are using the dauntless lamp lighter, which has melee damage and gun critical hit chance, as 1 point in blast furnace and 5 points in metal urge. I was looking for one with melee damage on it mostly, and we got one. And then we're using a siphon amp watch for dinner, which has siphon and amp on it, which is really nice. And then we are using a Ripper enhancement, which gives us shotgun damage, shotgun splash damage, and shotgun magazine size, which is really nice. And then for the firmware, we're using 2 action fists for 1 melee damage and action skill damage, because our action skill does melee damage, so that's really good. And then we're using 2 real big fists for even more melee damage. And then we're using 1 God Killer for damage dealt to badass enemies increased. And here for the skill tree, so we put points into this compile where we get melee critical hit chance. We put 1 point into gut punch. This is all you need. You don't need any more points into gut punch. It is not worth putting any more into it. And then we put 5 points into the titanium knuckles, gives us 40% more melee damage and 20% skill damage. And then we put 4 points into bullet storm, which gives us gun damage up to 6% per stack. And then we put 5 points into bloodlust, which gives us up to reload speed and lifesteal. The lifesteal is really nice. And then we put 5 points into brimming vigor. Amon gains increased maximum health capacity and deals increased melee damage the more full his health is. So when your health is more full, the more melee damage you're gonna get. And then we put 1 point into My Touch is Death, which gives you a chance of activating your kill skills while we're doing melee damage, which we're always doing melee damage using the mantra and Slippy. Enter the fray. Amon gains increased damage dealt, damage reduction based on the distance from enemies. Damage dealt when close was 25%. Damage reduction when close is 50%. And then we have 5 points in the Heartbringer kill skill. Amon gains increased melee damage at maximum shield capacity for the rotation. And then for the others, for the blue tree, we put 5 points into Battleborn. We put 5 points into Eternal, so we get some more action skill rotation. Put 5 points into cryo damage. You also put 5 points into this kill skill when killing an enemy with cryo damage from guns. The stack cryo affinity is the stack's gun damage. So basically, our melee damage is now activating the skill, so we are actually getting increased gun damage from this per stack. And Primal Surge, whenever Amon applies a status effect to an enemy, there's a chance to partially restore his shield and ammo. So this allows you to basically infinitely shoot your mantra. It does take it from the mag though. But yeah, it basically allows you to infinitely shoot your mantra, essentially. And then we are using the best defense. Now you don't need this many points in specializations. I use save editor and I forgot to reset it. I usually reset my stuff because I don't like it being this high. but I forgot to do that. And then you're going to want to use Riddle You This where you can get extra gun damage per stack. And then you're going to want to use Bear Arms. So melee damage now benefits from 50% increases the gun damage. And then you're going to want to use Groundbreaker, gun action skill, and orange damage to store melee attacks, slam, and bonus connect damage is consumed, store damage 20%. And that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy this build video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.